There was one bid submitted, and that was from Kokosing Industrial. Their information was reviewed by DLZ and our project team. It was determined they were a qualified bidder. So what we'd ask is that you approve this action. And then what we're looking to do then is, we've had the Board of Commissioners already approve that bid. So that would then make Kokosing Industrial a qualified bidder. So when we bid out SJEC Water Treatment Plant Phase 2, they would be already designated as a qualified bidder. So we'd ask for your approval of this item today, please.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Discussion.
A motion and a second. Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Goebel?
Aye.
Mr. Horvath?
Aye.
And Mr. Jordan?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The second item bid award today would be the bid award for the Larison Road Lift Station and Force Main Replacement Project. On February 13th, the Redevelopment Commission opened two bids, and the two bids were from HRP Construction Incorporated and Woodruff and Sons Incorporated. What we'd ask for you to do is award the bid to HRP Construction Inc. in the amount of $9,290,000. This bid was considered the low bid. It was reviewed. It was the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. The Board of Commissioners has already approved this bid, so we'd ask for you to approve it so that we can move forward with contracts and negotiation on those contracts. Any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
The only question I have is, we don't technically have to go with the low bid on these types of events, correct? Or is it a low bid?
Based on requirements of the project manual and certain other things, we can use those as criteria to also award bids. So that is correct.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry, I didn't mean to come to my legal counsel, but
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
A motion and a second. Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Goebel?
Aye.
Mr. Horvath?
Aye.
Mr. Jordan?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, the next item is to request for approval of funding to demolish a property at 5612 Larison. At our February 13th meeting, bids were opened. We received one bid from Richard Brothers for $56,422. That bid was reviewed by Christopher Burke Engineering. The Board of Commissioners previously met and approved this, and now we're asking for staff is asking a request for approval of the funding for Richard Brothers in the amount of the $56,422 even.
Is there a motion to approve resolution?
This seems like a pretty basic skill set. The lack of competition in this is there.
so we submitted quotes to 3 different parties. 2 responded immediately that they have more work than they can handle. So and there's a pretty good pool. The other ones that said don't even bother sending it to us. So I think there's 5 or 6 that we generally will send to. So we were able to narrow the pool down to 3 that said they would consider it, and only 1 was willing to even put it in their work schedule. So
Yeah, I think we've been seeing a minute of that for a while.
yeah, there was a question asked by Commissioner Dieter at the Board of Commissioner meeting the other day. Have we ever thought about doing this kind of work in-house? We actually years ago did. We bought a piece of property on Edison Road west of Walnut. It cost us probably twice what a demo would cost because we had to run equipment, we had to get certified, we had to do all that, and we just found it was cost prohibitive for the county to do it itself. So.
I would agree. I think that would be a mistake. Motion to approve.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further comments or questions?
Motion and a second. Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Goebel?
Aye.
Mr. Horvath?
Aye.
And Mr. Jordan?
Aye.
Motion carries.
So the next 3 items are what we would consider sole source procurement requests, and these are all related to different elements of work that need to be done in the IEC for the water projects and the lift station projects. Andy Lamberis is here with DLZ just to answer any additional questions that you may have. But the first item is a sole source procurement request for well equipment. This is for 3 production wells and the equipment packages and all the pieces related to that. This is related to the SJEC water treatment plant expansion project. As part of that project, we actually have to put 3 new water wells into the ground to provide the additional water capacity needed for the project. We're working with Peerless Midwest. Peerless has provided the other wells out in the development area at this water treatment plant in particular. So these wells will match the other equipment already previously provided. The value of the quote is $812,000, and so we'd ask for your approval of that so that we can move forward to purchase the equipment for this project. If there's any questions, Andy Lamberis would be happy to answer.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion and a second, Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Gold?
Aye.
Mr. Horvath?
Aye.
And Mr. Jordan?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next item is the sole source procurement of master controls. Yeah, I didn't have my pages all folded over, sorry. The master controller station equipment, again, is related to the installation of the wells and the expansion of the water treatment plant. Again, this is equipment from Gas Voda and Associates. We've worked with Gas Voda in the past to buy specific equipment for the project. So this is in the amount of $46,000 and $46,040. So $46,040. Again, this is equipment that will be compatible with the other equipment in the water treatment plant. We'd ask for your approval, please.
That's our motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second, Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Gopal?
Aye.
Mr. Horvath?
Aye.
And Mr. Jordan?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The last one I am going to ask Andy, maybe he could present. This is a little, so we'd gone out to bid 3 different items. One was a water tank, a water storage tank. One was water piping, and the third was generators. We didn't receive any bids for the generators, and so maybe I'll let Andy and Phil talk a little bit of how we got to where we are with the generator bid.
So the 2 we just approved, you're allowed to do sole source procurement because of compatibility issues under the statute. This one is a different statutory exception because there was no bids received. There's an exception that allows us to go out and essentially negotiate and contract with any vendor that we would so choose. So that's what we did in this case. The reason we selected Cummings, you can explain.
So we contacted multiple suppliers of emergency generators. We received quotations back from 3 different companies, all very qualified. We worked with each of them to compare apples to apples because emergency generators can get complicated and there's a lot of different pieces and parts. And as we got all the information back and we were evaluating them, we were looking at 3 generators. We wanted to get all 3 the same manufacturers. Cummings had the lowest price for their generators. They also had the shortest lead time for the equipment, which in this case was very crucial because some of these items are going to be servicing a pump station and the expansion for the water treatment plant. Those 2 facilities come online in December of this year. So because of the long lead time of generators, it's just the nature of the market that we're in. It's actually close to a year out. So the contractor on those 2 facilities will be required to provide a temporary generator until this permanent generator is on site. So there's a cost associated with the contractor providing that temporary emergency power. So the sooner we can get this permanent generator installed, the less it'll cost the county. So on top of Cummings being the lowest quote, they also provided the shortest lead time, which reduces that temporary cost to the county. So for those reasons, we recommended Cummings.
I do have a question on this. To your point about the lead times, are there any LDs, liquidated damages, for failure to meet these lead times?
I have to go back and look. I believe we have those in the document.
Normally that burden would be
I
on
believe they
the
are in the
contractor,
project.
but maybe pass through to the supplier on this.
Yes.
Since it's not being sourced through the contractor, they kind of get to wash their hands of it. So I would recommend that, at least in the contract agreement, is that these dates are fine, but if they are just estimates and not no hard commitments to them, I'd put that in there because, like, to your point, the ATSs and these generators, the ATSs in particular are a problem.
We will double check that, to prove they are in there.
I believe they are too. Okay. We can check.
If you want to add that to a motion, can you make that, would that be part of a, not suggesting how you make the
That's what I was
motion,
gonna
but
suggest too, so.
So I motion that we add LDs to that particular purchase, because of the risk. And it may be that they have to provide the temporary power or they cover the cost of that, whatever, it's not about punishment, it's about getting the job done. So it could be that they have to pick up the cost of renting backup generators for that temp use.
My suggestion, if the commission is so inclined, would be a motion to award to Cummings subject to liquidated damages language to be drafted and acceptable by council.
Motion.
Is there a second?
second.
The motion is second. Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Goble?
Aye.
Mr. Horvath?
Aye.
And Mr. Jordan?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. Next item in the packet is Donahue and Associates. This is amendment number 2 to the New Carlisle Water Treatment Plant Improvements Program Management Implementation Study. So this is the second amendment. We'd previously amended it to add some water modeling. We did that back in November. The original contract, going all the way back, the original contract was to extend and study an expanded water treatment plant, the original water treatment plant. So the Cleveland Cliffs water treatment plant, as the project study has grown on, it's how does this plant merge with the water treatment plant, the energy center, how do all the water systems model together? That's what was the first amendment, was kind of that, how do they all fit together? The second amendment is more of a gap study analysis, and so DLZ has done a lot of work on SDEC water treatment plant phase 2. So again, this is kind of a peer review model. It's a $10,000 not to exceed amount to do just additional study, just to make sure that all the numbers line up and all the work does. So what we'd like we'd ask for your approval to do that. It would extend the total contract here to $216,000 and $216,100. And so we just ask for your approval of that, please.
Questions? Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
The motion is second. Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Goble?
Aye.
Mr. Horvath?
Aye.
And Mr. Jordan?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next item on the agenda is a request for funding to demolish a property at 14390 Douglas Road. Bids were advertised and solicited by staff and received on February 13th. Like the previous one on Larison that we discussed, only one bid was received from Richard Brothers in the amount of $45,560. The Board of Commissioners have already previously approved this. The only question the Board of Commissioners had in regards to this, other than not getting multiple bids, was what was the difference between the two. Why was one $10,000 more than other? So the record, I just want to indicate that there was some lead paint found in the windows, and there was some tree removal on the one on Larison, which has caused it to be $10,000 more than this one, which is the $45,560. So staff requests approval for funding and to award the contract to Richard Brothers, Inc. at $45,560.
I think on the first one, there was also asbestos abatement about $1,600. Yeah.
Motion to approve.
Motion approves. Is there a second?
Second.
The motion is second. Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Goble? Aye. Mr. Horvath?
Aye.
And Mr. Jordan?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Is there any other additional business?
The only other additional business that I'd like to note, Stacy Pelletier, if Stacy to raise her hand down there. Stacy is the admin that will be working with us on redevelopment commission. Shelley had helped, and we've had kind of, a lot of different, Stacy joined our team 2 months ago.
About a month.
It seems like 6.
In fact, it's almost March is beyond my belief. So Stacy will be working with us on redevelopment commission stuff. We have some minutes that at our next meeting, we'll probably have a whole stack of minutes to review and approve. So, so we're trying to get ourselves caught up and everything. But, when we have special meetings 2-3 times a month, it stacks up. So, but I just, from an additional business standpoint, just wanted to introduce Stacy.
Welcome, welcome.
There is no additional business at this time.
So we move to the public comment. Does anyone in person wish to speak? Seeing no one, if anyone online would like to speak, just indicate by raising the hand on the Zoom function. Not seeing any. Okay. Seeing none, then is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Goebel?
Aye.
Mr. Horvath?
Aye.
Mr. Jordan?
Aye.
We are adjourned.